Imagine two people. Call them Sam and Duncan. Same city, same job, same salary, $75,000 a year. On paper, they're the same person. Fast forward 20 years. One of them is sitting on a porch, they own no debt, investments quietly growing in the background. The other is still wondering where the money went. Sam, 20 years later, paycheck to paycheck. Same salary, bigger expenses, nothing saved, wondering what went wrong. Duncan, 20 years later, debt-free, invested. Same salary, controlled spending, consistent habits, watching his money work. Same income, completely different lives. How does that happen? Shocking stats say this slowly. In 2024, 36% of people earning over $200,000 a year, nearly 3 times the average US salary, reported living paycheck to paycheck. So if a high income doesn't guarantee wealth, what does? That's exactly what we're unpacking today. Because wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about your habits, your mindset, and most importantly, what you actually keep. Let's get into it. While researching this, I noticed something surprising. It's not that people don't want financial freedom, it's that they keep making a few critical mistakes, and those mistakes quietly hold them back. 3 stood out more than any others. Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise. Amazing. So you upgrade your apartment, buy a nicer car, eat out more? Makes sense, you earned it. Except now your expenses rose with your income, and you're no better off than before. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the silent wealth killer most people never notice happening. The millionaire next door key finding. Most genuinely wealthy people don't look wealthy. They drive average cars. They live in modest homes. Their lifestyle doesn't automatically balloon every time their income does. Sports analogy, lean forward. Think of it this way. In sports, your income is your offense, it scores points. But your spending control? That's your defense. You can have the best offense in the league. But if your defense is terrible, you're still losing the game. The numbers. Skipping a $5 daily expense, 1 coffee, 1 impulse buy, and redirecting, it adds up to over $1,800 a year. That's not a latte argument. That's proof that small, daily decisions compound just as fast as money does. You found nearly $2,000 without working a single extra hour. The anchor of bad debt. Let's put Sam and Duncan side by side. Sam has $5,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest. He's paying $500 a month just to chip away at it. A whole year passes and he has nothing to show for it except a zeroed-out card. Duncan has zero consumer debt. He takes that same $500 and puts it into an S&P 500 index fund, which has historically returned around 8% per year. After 1 year, Duncan has $6,000. Sam debt payments, 12 months of $500 payments. Credit card zeroed out, nothing built, no growth. Duncan investing, $60,000 plus. Same $500 Mo invested. After 30 years of compounding at 8%, that $6,000 starting year becomes over $60,000. Duncan didn't work harder, he just wasn't dragged down. Think about a car loan. A car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. Every month, you're paying interest on something worth less than yesterday. The rule is simple. Debt on things that lose value ensures your money never works for you. Not tracking your spending. Quick question, how much did you spend last week? Roughly, if you hesitated, you're not alone, and science actually explains why. Research MIT brain scan study. When people pay with cash, a brain region associated with pain activates. You're watching your resources physically leave. When people use credit cards, the brain's reward center lights up instead. It feels like getting something for free. The result? We consistently underestimate how much we're spending and buy a lot. The fix isn't complicated. Track every expense daily, summarize it monthly. Even a basic spreadsheet works. When you see the numbers in black and white, you can't lie to yourself anymore, and that awareness alone is often enough to change behavior. Now let's look at the other side. Every person I studied who became financially free had something in common: habits that pushed them consistently toward the goal. Here's what they all did. Invest earlier than you think. This one feels almost unfair when you see the numbers. Duncan, early starter, $24,000. Invests $2,400 via starting at age 20, stops completely after 10 years, total in $24,000. Sam, late starter, $84,000. Starts at 30, invests $2,400 every single year until 65, total in $84,000. still ends up behind. The punchline: Duncan wins despite putting in $60,000 less than Sam. His 10-year head start was worth more than 3.5 decades of contributions. Time is the one ingredient you can never get back. Pay yourself first. Here's something a lot of people notice about their bank accounts. No matter how much they earn, the balance somehow always hovers around the same number. That's because most people spend whatever's there. It's just human nature. The antidote: the moment your paycheck hits, before rent, before groceries, before anything, you move a set amount into savings or investments. You bring home $1,500, you automatically move $250 the second it arrives. Now you're living on $1,250. You adjust, you figure it out. Do this consistently, and you've built a financial foundation almost without thinking about it. Know the difference between assets and liabilities. This is foundational. So let's make it crystal clear. Asset puts money in. Stocks, dividend shares, rental properties, a side business. Money flows toward you. Liability takes money out. Car loans, luxury goods on credit, anything costing you month after month. Money flows away. Rich people buy assets. Broke people buy liabilities and call them assets. Here's the part most financial videos skip. Two people can know every single one of these strategies and still end up in completely different places because of how they think about money. Scarcity mindset. I might run out, better hold on to everything. Sounds responsible, but it leads to hoarding cash in savings accounts, earning almost nothing, or avoiding every investment out of fear. Money stays frozen. It never works for you. Abundance mindset. Money is a tool. I use it to create more. This person invests in a skill, a course, an experience, not because they're reckless, but because they're thinking about the return. They ask, what could this grow into? The internal shift. It's not about being careless with money. It's about changing the internal question from, can I afford to lose this, to what could this become? One keeps money frozen. The other puts it to work. This is why two people with identical knowledge end up with different lives. The strategy is only as good as the mindset behind it. Financial freedom doesn't just happen. Nobody trips and falls into a life with zero debt, growing investments, and real security. It takes a plan. Think of it like a suspension bridge, beautiful, sturdy, reliable. But it doesn't build itself. Someone designed it and built it piece by piece. Here's your blueprint. Kill consumer debt. Start with your highest interest debt and pay it off aggressively. Every dollar freed from debt payments is a dollar that can start working for you instead of against you. Invest purposefully. Don't wait until you have more money. Automate a contribution to your investments every payday, even if it's small. Remove the decision from the equation entirely. Live on less than you earn. This sounds obvious. It's not glamorous, but it's the exact rule that separates the two people we started this video with. Not optional. Write it down. A budget isn't a restriction, it's a roadmap. You cannot manage what you don't measure. Make a plan, write it down, and revisit it every single month. Let's bring it back to where we started. Two people, same income, 20 years later, completely different lives. The difference wasn't luck. It wasn't a secret investment tip. It was habits. Decisions made quietly, consistently over time. The person who ended up financially free didn't earn more. They spent less than they earned, invested early, avoided bad debt, and stayed consistent even when it wasn't exciting. No magic, no secret, just decisions made consistently over time. And here's the truth. It doesn't matter if you're 16 or 56. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. End card. If this helped you see money differently, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. And if you want to go deeper on building real financial habits, subscribe. We break this down every week in the simplest way possible. See you in the next one.